All right, welcome to a long time ago. We promised it last week. We were going to do a room tour of Martyn's room, and as you've just seen there, that is a little video montage that we've put together for it. Yeah, the elephant in the room is the state of my room compared to yours. You've gone out and changed your room, and mine's being renovated, let's say.
I'd say more like demolished, but yeah.
Yeah, demolished is a pretty good word for it, to be honest. Yeah, there's quite a contrast between your picture and mine in this instance, and I got my bounty hunters out just to sort of try and help me out with this. I'm not very well lit. Maybe I should light it up a bit.
I mean, this is going to be a slightly different room tour, collection room tour that we did last year because Adam was lucky enough to be able to come down last year, and we were in the same room, so we could sort of walk around the room, take a look at stuff, talk about things that piqued Adam's interest. But obviously, Adam's not be able to make it round.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to get up there this time. But it's changed quite significantly from the previous room tour that we did.
That's right.
And I think I've worked out this is like your fourth change of the year, is it?
At least since we've started doing the videos, I think it's my fourth, possibly fifth change. I'm going to go fourth, but I think it might be fifth. I'm not sure. But
that's
it's been kind of crazy. But I made sure I sent you a load of video footage so that you could see all the areas, because obviously there's a lot of the room you can't actually see. So I sent you that so to give you some ideas of anything you wanted to ask. So
I can ask a few questions based on the video footage that you've sent me.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's a shame that I couldn't get up there to do it, in person as we did before. But let's start things off then. The way you did it before was in movie order, wasn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was going from like top down. You haven't changed that, have you?
I've kept everything. Well, I've kept everything in chronological order, kinda. Basically, I started over the last 18 months. I've started to go from the black cabinets that I had, the bookshelves, and I just couldn't fit as much in there. And I kind of took some inspiration from. Everybody knows Only One Kenobi, and he's got a carded room, hasn't he, where he has the wall attached to the wall. Well, I kind of took some inspiration from that, e.g. copied it, and because I feel like the black cabinets, if you see some pictures of what they used to be, it was really dark in here, and it looked good, but it
definitely lit up a bit more now, isn't it? Not to mention the two cabinets that are actually lit up. Literally.
That's right.
But it's
and as
good.
I was, thanks. I mean, as I was doing it, obviously I've been putting nails in the wall and putting shelves up, and I've got so many figures that as I was doing it, I was trying to keep them in order. This is to actually answer the question you asked, so I've kept them in movie order, and so they're all the Return of the Jedis are put together, all the Empire, all the Mandalorian, all the Clone Wars, etc., etc. But they're not in chronological order, and it's kind of driving me a bit mad, to be honest with you. So I still do have the task of starting from just here on my right hand side and going right around the room in chronological order. And it's always
You're
great.
thinking of doing it in chronological in the way that the Vintage Collection released them, or
no,
or just still movie.
Star Wars
okay,
timeline.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
have you ever set it up so because you've got more or less you've got all of them now?
Do you know what? There's something about the uniformity of having all the Return of the Jedi logos together and all the Empire Strikes Back logos together. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a Star Wars collector or any collector who doesn't keep everything that looks the same together, if that makes sense. I couldn't walk in a room like that. I'd have to reorganize it immediately.
Well, I know what my Star Wars room is going to look like then. Just to wind you up, I think I'm going to do it like that.
You'll leave your room though, and you'll come back 10 minutes later, and it'll be completely like switched around to chronological order. Yeah. So I do need to put it all in order. And of course, I'll start with the Phantom Menace bit here, and it'll work its way around. But what'll happen just as I've finished that, the Acolyte will come out, and Hasbro released some action figures for that, which means the entire room will have to shift round. So
is the Acolyte set before?
Yeah, it's
all
going to
of
be
this.
the
It is, isn't
furthest
it?
back.
So you were actually going to go like, yeah. So, I hadn't thought of it like that.
I might think ahead and leave a shelf space or something.
Probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got a few older things in there still, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Have you saved your proper vintage stuff? Have you saved that for the shelves on the left there?
Yeah, just on the left there, I kind of added some shelves that you can see just there, and there's some here above me and to my right as well. To my left, sorry, can't tell my left and right. And I kind of felt, I put them there because I've got a lot of graded figures now and a lot in acrylic cases. I basically keep all the nicer ones or the rarer ones in acrylic cases, and I used to keep those in the glass cabinets. Well, of course, I'm now collecting the loose graded figures, so I needed where can I put the acrylic cases? So I couldn't obviously hang them on the wall, so I bought some shelves, and inadvertently, I put it in the center of that wall there, and it's created this really nice 3D effect. Sort of, it pops out the wall a little bit.
Yeah,
I really like the look of it. But
I've mentioned that before. It does give it a bit of depth. It's quite nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I keep all my vintage Kenner figures there, and any Holy Grails, etc. that I've managed to pick up. They all go there. So
do you have like one particular Grail figure still? Has it changed?
Figure wise, I don't think you can really say anything other than the VC20 Canadian Yoda that I've got unpunched as well, which is just I've not seen many of those about. But yeah, that would be my Holy Grail that I own anyway. That gets treated like gold dust in this room. Although I've been watching Action Figure Grader recently, and I have to say it's probably halved its value in the last year from what I paid for it. So not that that's
it's not what you got it, but
no, I got it, but it's kind of galling to know.
Still hurts a little bit.
It hurts a little bit knowing that if I'd waited a year, I probably could have picked it up a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But
do you know what? I've seen one recently going on eBay. It just popped up on my feed on my eBay, searches or whatever. The guy, it was in terrible condition. There's one image of it. I'm pretty sure it's dodgy because like I say, it was in awful condition, and the guy was asking for $3,000 for it.
Whoa!
Like, no chance. Because the one that you've got's in much better condition.
Oh, it's immaculate. It's got exactly a slight bit of wear to the bottom left of the card. It's slight little bend or a vein. It's very, very tiny, but apart from that, it's absolutely immaculate. So so that would be my Holy Grail. And yeah, as I say, I don't have many vintage Kenner figures. I think I've got 7, but they're old school, so they get pride of place on the shelves. So chuffed to have those.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we have spoken about it a little bit before. When are we going to get the old Return of the Jedi sticker album going? What's the plan there?
Oh yeah, well, I obviously again, that's gone on one of the shelves because I bought it originally planning to do a live stream or something with you where or a talking Star Wars episode, and we just sit there and we talk Star Wars, and I'd have a third camera sort of just looking down the sticker album, and I've bought numerous packets of unopened stickers for the Return of the Jedi album, and just open them up, stick them in the book, chat Star Wars, just have a beer, while we're doing it, and have a good chat and stuff. And I thought, that'd be quite a cool little chilled out video that we could do either as a live.
Let's get it done. Let's get it in the
in
the bank.
Then I was perusing the YouTube a couple of weeks before I was planning on doing it with you, and I noticed that someone else was doing it and is still doing it currently at the moment, so I don't want to step on their toes, so I'll wait a bit. But that's definitely an idea for the future, because it was an album that I had when I was a kid. I've told this story before, I'm sorry if I have, and I never completed it, and I was always really disappointed that I never managed to complete it. And so the challenge is now is to, with all the sticker packs that I've bought, will I have them all, or will I have to go on the hunt again?
This is the thing. Completing a sticker album is so difficult to do, and
it was really difficult in
as well. So exactly, yeah. When the stickers cost what, 20p a pack?
Yeah, they don't cost 20p a pack anymore.
No, they do not. We picked up a couple from Echo Base, didn't we?
We did
each, and what was that? £5?
I think £5. But I mean, that's expensive. I think the only reason we picked those up was because it was part of a challenge. But I did have a guy who sells stickers. I got in touch with on eBay, and he literally has a business where he sells old 1980 stickers. And he said, when I've run out of the current crop that I've got, that he'll sort me out a much better price than £5 per packet.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would get expensive then.
Exactly. So
that's good. You're finding all the right people, aren't you?
Well, as I've always said,
Dan at Another League.
Yeah. Well, when we do our pickup videos, I always say, if they can only say no if you contact them on eBay or whatever, and speak to them personally and say, is there anything that we can do off eBay? Sometimes rightfully so they don't want to do it, but then most of the times I have to say they have, and I've got a much better deal. So it's worth trying.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So above the Empire Strikes Back poster that you've got there, as you enter the room, there's a bit of wall space. Anything in particular going in there, or?
Well, I've got a fair. I mean, you would have seen in previous episodes for the last year that the autographs that I've picked up have sort of changed position in the room quite often, which has left lots of holes in the wall. Yeah. Thankfully, the figures are covering up those holes at the moment. But I'm kind of thinking either more shelves to go up in that space above or by the door, or I probably will put the framed autographs up there, because they're down on the floor at the moment, and I don't know, I'd rather have them up on the wall, out of the way, not getting kicked about. And our dogs love to run in here when the doors open, and then all these figures at the bottom, along the bottom row, and the autograph pictures get knocked about, and it causes a cascade domino effect where everything starts moving and falling off. So I think possibly I'll be using the wall space for that, but that is literally it. Then I've got no space for anything else.
So when that is all filled up, then what's the plan for anything new?
Well, I have been thinking about this, and all of the ones on the wall are on nails. I think they're only 150. Well, sorry, 1.5 centimeter nails, or 2 centimeter nails. They're really very tiny little tack things. So I could always buy some 6-inch nails and bang those into the wall, and that way I can double up on them. Although you can, I've
got duplicates, haven't you? You got a few doubles in there,
they're doubles, but they're different variants of the same figure.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
you've got some like carbonized figures and things like that, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got. Then there's the Revenge of the Jedi cards, and there's the Kithaba with the brown headband and the red headband. I've got lots of different variants, carded variants, and then obviously there's the Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader's, Revenge of the Sith cards. There's 3 of those. Yeah. I do have a lot of variants, but I can't. If it's vintage collection, it's got to go out. So I don't know. That's a question for further down the line.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll be doing this room tour again next year, and it'll look completely different.
I don't know. I don't know, Adam. I think there's I don't think they will. To be honest with you, there's one thing that I'm not. I'll keep it as a surprise, but there's one thing coming in the future for the room.
Okay.
Which once it's in the room, it can't be moved. And it has once it's on the wall, that's it. So I think that will be it, because it will cause everything else to not be able to be moved.
Right.
So I think this is probably how we're gonna how it's going to be. I have managed to sort of, where I've done the shelves, I've managed to, create this perfect height for my plastic tubs that I have where I keep all my excess figures and boxes.
Yeah.
So I have that running around the wall now, which is great because I can access a lot of the stuff that I couldn't access before.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. We've spoken about it in the past. I've got a garage, and I have this.
Yeah, this was going to be my next question, actually.
Yeah,
I was just going to ask you where you're like, if you've still got boxes in the garage to sort out. And
have I? I mean, I've got probably 12 of these massive black tubs. They're sealed tubs. I can't really just think. They're probably about 1 meter long each by about
right.
1 meter deep, possibly. They're quite 1/2 meter deep. Sorry, they're really, really, and they must have at least 50, 60 figures in each of them. And
worthy of the Forgotten Boxes episodes that we did before?
No, not really, because they are action figures that were probably featured on the channel before.
Okay.
Pickups, auction wins. They're not really Forgotten Boxes because they were literally boxes that I forgot that I had what was in them. These I kind of roughly know what's in them.
You've got an idea,
yeah, and there's a lot of Power of the Force Saga collection. There's we spent months and months trying to find all of the Saga collection and the what were they, the trilogy, original trilogy collection. We managed to pick them all up, and then they instantly get put in the black tub and put in the garage, so that was really worthwhile. Obviously I'd love to get those out because they're vintage cards, so I'd love
exactly. And they look they wouldn't look out of place in that in the room, would they? Because they've got the same styling. So
yeah, I mean, I do have all my graded Revenge of the Sith cards in here, and I really love those. But they could, if they were to be removed and stored, that would make more space for vintage cards in here. So I've got options, but I'm kind of to the point now where we've discussed this before. I think you kind of have to say, right, this is what I'm collecting now. This is all I've got the space for. So the stuff in the garage, I'm starting to go through it slowly, admittedly, but I'm starting to sort of send some of it to new homes.
Reluctantly move it on.
Yeah, it's what's the point if it's going to sit in the black tub, in a cold garage, not getting any love. Someone else should enjoy it.
Would you not love to sort of? I know it does. You're sort of at capacity there, but wouldn't you love to have it all out on display?
In an ideal world, of course. If I had a room double the size of this, then I'd be able to get all that in. But then I'd run out of room again. So where does it stop?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I just love the vintage collection and all the vintage cards, the Kenner's cards. They've always been my favourite. So I think I've made the right choice, and I think they display so beautifully as well.
Agreed.
In the mixture of the graded stuff as well that I've got, it's it's great. And I've got a few other little bits out, like I've got the Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi lightsaber, which I got from Disney World, Galaxy's Edge Legacy lightsaber. That's what it's called. And I've got a few little bits like that, and I've got a bottle of rosé wine from Skywalker Vineyard. I've got a few little pieces here or there that mean a lot to me that I've kept out.
That reminds me of the video, actually, the intro video. There's a little Ahsoka in there as well.
Yeah,
is that something you keep out on display? Is it?
Well, that's actually part of I believe it was called Disney Infinity, and it was a game that you had on Xbox. I think it was Xbox. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Xbox. And you had these characters, and you popped them on a little tray, which was plugged into the Xbox, and then that character would appear in the game of Disney Infinity.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got tons of them. I've got all the prequel Clone Wars and sequel characters in one of the boxes in the garage, and I found Ahsoka when I was going through one of them, and I really like the look of the animated style of that, that character of that statue. So I pulled that out, and everyone knows I love Ahsoka. So I've got a ton of those Disney Infinity figures. Actually, you reminded me I should put out the Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker because they're pretty cool. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's one little thing about changing the room round, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm sure a lot of collectors, well, maybe it's just me, but I feel like a lot of collectors would agree. There's always want to keep changing it, to sort of change the room around, to try and get it as perfect as you can, and aesthetically pleasing as you can, and so that you can see all of the stuff that you've managed to pick up and the stuff that you love, getting to see it. And going back to when I was a little kid, I was always one of those, I don't know if you were the same, but when in my bedroom when I was a kid, every few months I wanted to change it around to make it a little bit different. So I'd move my bed to another wall in the bedroom, and I'd set up my desk, and I was always one of those kids who wanted to kind of change I don't really know how to explain it, but change how things look. Have a fresh sort of outlook of the room that I spend a lot of time in, and I think that's kind of gone with me into adult life, especially with the Star Wars room. I mean, my wife and I had the kitchen painted, to go on a non-Star Wars fact. We had the kitchen painted a couple of weeks back, and obviously we moved all the furniture that was in the kitchen to the center of the room. And as the painting was coming to an end, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if we could pop the table over there, for a bit of a change. It's just something I always in my mind of like, can I change things around to perhaps improve it or make it more aesthetically pleasing? But I think my wife just thinks I've got OCD, to be honest with you.
Well, I think you do too, but I don't know. No, I don't think I was completely like that.
No,
not quite every few months. Probably every year. I think.
Okay.
I like to
maybe
from time to time. But yeah.
I just hear this shouting from downstairs going, "What are you moving upstairs?" As this massive of the bed getting moved across the room.
So the big question then is, are you happy with it? You must be.
Yes, I mean, going back to how I had it, say 12 months ago, with the black cabinets and everything, I love it now. I come in here more than I come in here a lot, but I come in here even more now, and I just sit opposite direction that I'm facing now, and I just look out at everything, and I just sort of just sit there and enjoy the room. It's the best I've ever had it. And as a collector, I've always wanted a Star Wars room, and I've been lucky enough to have a Star Wars room for, not in just this house, but in the previous house we had. And this is the first time, I think, that I've actually sort of finished it all and thought, okay, I'm really, really happy with this. I genuinely don't feel like I need to improve. There is, as I say, there's one thing coming in the maybe near future, maybe distant future, but it's definitely coming. And that is going to be the pièce de résistance to the room. But once that's in my eyes, I think this is it's the perfect Star Wars room for me. I love it.
Because it's kind of the thing, isn't it? That you say that you go in and sit there and just enjoy it. That's it's an interesting thing being a collector, because you get all of these things, but what are you doing with them, really? You're just doing it to collect. And I mean, I enjoy the hunt. I think I think I've said it before. That's the main reason for me to collect things. It's like finding epic deals and finding things that just look cool, like the astromech droids, of course.
Definitely.
But then, what do you do with them then? To have something that you can sit in and just like look at and just enjoy.
It's a little bit inspiring as well, Adam, because since I've had this room set up like this, I've started that little 3-4 minute series of vintage collection videos that I put out every Tuesday. And it inspires me to do it, and so I can sit here and edit those, and then I turn around and I think, right, what haven't I featured yet? And I can stand and have a walk around, and I love it. I'm very, very lucky to have a room, and I really do appreciate it. So it's great.
That's good.
Nice. So that's a kind of a bit of a tour in a way, I suppose. But hopefully next year you can get up and we can have a proper tour. But
that would be good.
Yeah.
maybe we'll do it live so that people can ask us what people can ask you questions.
Kind of
live
awkward
as we're
if no
doing
one,
it. That would be
kind of awkward if no one's on live, but yeah.
that's very true. But we'll
we'll just make sure we don't
we'll
do it
let people know.
Yeah, make sure we don't do it at 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't want to be doing that, but we'll let people know about a month in advance and just keep reminding them every day until until people are interested. Yeah.
You'll just start an auction when I leave the room.
Well, yeah. Who knows? Right. So, upcoming on the channel anyway, we've got our 500 subscriber giveaway. We're gonna get together next week, are we?
Yeah.
And do the results for that. So anyone who hasn't seen that video, please go back and watch that. All you've got to do really is you watch the video and then you'll find out what you have to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll just do what I tell you and not watch the video. We can't have that. But yeah, get your names in the hat over on that video. Otherwise, best of luck to everyone who's entered, and we'll give out the results in the next one. Yep. But we've got some good prize tiers on offer, I think, so should be good. Hope you all enjoyed that one. If you did, like and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one. See you later.